Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is swiping left on a face they don't find attractive. They don't know why. They just know. But where did that feeling come from? We assume attraction is ancient, universal, hardwired, symmetry, clear skin, a strong jaw. Scientists have spent decades arguing these preferences were shaped by millions of years of evolution. And some of that is true. But here's what almost nobody talks about. For most of human history, you couldn't really see anyone's face. And the thing that made someone attractive had almost nothing to do with how they looked. Think about what early human life actually was. You lived in a group of maybe 30 to 50 people. Everyone was known to you. There were no strangers, no first impressions. Attraction didn't happen at a glance across a crowded room. It happened slowly over years, built from something the modern world has almost entirely stopped measuring. In 2012, researchers studied mate preferences among the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last forager populations on Earth, still living close to how humans lived for most of our history. What the Hadza found attractive in a partner was almost entirely about competence and character. For women choosing men, hunting ability ranked at the top. Not height, not symmetry, not jaw structure. The man who could reliably bring back food, who showed up, who was skilled, who the group trusted, was the most desirable man in the camp. For 300,000 years, the most attractive person in the world wasn't the most symmetrical. It was the person you'd want beside you when things went wrong. Generosity was one of the biggest signals. Among the Yuhuanzi Bushmen of the Kalahari, hunters who bring back large animals are expected to distribute most of the meat. Hoarding is stigmatized. The person who gives freely, who demonstrates they have enough to spare, is signaling something real about their value to the group. That signal was attractive. Bravery was another. A not reckless aggression, which actually carried low status in many forager societies, but calm, deliberate courage. The person who put themselves between the camp and danger, noticed, remembered, attractive. Smell mattered in ways we've largely forgotten. There's a set of now famous experiments showing that humans are remarkably good at detecting immune system compatibility through body odor. We are unconsciously drawn to people whose immune profile complements our own. A system that works most powerfully up close, in the dark, around a fire, not through a screen. And then there was voice. In small groups without writing, how you spoke, the warmth, confidence, and knowledge in your voice was one of the primary ways you communicated your value. Studies of forager societies show that skilled storytellers, people who could hold a group around the fire at night, were among the most sought after partners. Not because storytelling is romantic in the abstract, because in a world where all knowledge traveled through speech, the person who could carry and convey it was genuinely more valuable to have children with. So why do we think about attraction the way we do now? The short answer is strangers. About 12,000 years ago, humans began settling into larger communities. Suddenly, you were surrounded by people whose history you didn't know, whose character you hadn't watched reveal itself over years. And in that world, you had to assess people quickly, from a distance. The face became the primary data point because it was often the only one you had. Then came cities, art, codified beauty standards, photography, and eventually a small glass rectangle in your pocket that lets you sort through thousands of faces in an hour, each one evaluated in under 2 seconds. We did not evolve for this. We are ancient animals running ancient software in a world that was built last Tuesday, and the consequences show up in the data. Studies consistently show that physical appearance plays a far larger role in attraction in anonymous contexts, dating apps, speed dating, than it does in relationships that form through repeated contact. Psychologist Lucy Hunt at the University of Texas found that couples who had known each other for months before getting together showed almost no correlation between physical attractiveness ratings and partner match. The people who fell for each other slowly did so for reasons a photo couldn't capture. What we call a spark, that sense of connection that builds over time with someone you weren't sure about at first, may be the ancestral attraction system doing exactly what it was built to do. Watching, waiting, reading generosity, reliability, and warmth across repeated interactions. We built an entire civilization on top of our attraction instincts without stopping to ask what those instincts were originally designed for. We optimized the packaging and ignored the contents. We made attraction faster, more visual, more efficient, and in doing so, we severed it from the very signals it evolved to read. For 300,000 years, attraction was built in the dark, around fires, through seasons of watching someone show up. It was built from smell and voice, and the memory of what someone did when the group needed them. We replaced all of that with a photo, and most of us never even knew what we lost.